What's the world coming to?
All right, let's hop into this. A good friend of mine sent me this video. He lives down in Florida, and this is a story from Central Florida, Polk County, where apparently they caught 4 South American burglars who stole over $1.7 million from local business owners.
I want you to think about this for a minute. You come to this country legally. You go through the processes. After you come here, you establish a small business. You work really hard with all of your family members, and you're able to live in a nice community, a gated community. You're Asian American. Do you know, out of the 9 arrests we made in this case, 7 of our victims were Asian American?
He's setting the framework up in this story. It looks like a lot of the victims were Asian American. And I think that he is pointing that out because it looks like this group targeted this specific group of business owners. So that's why I think he's pointing that out.
We have groups from Colombia and South America working all across the United States as we speak. They're focusing on high-end houses. They're focusing on business owners, local business owners. And these 4 folks that I'm going to talk to you about for a few minutes, guess how they all got here across the southern border? They're all here illegally. Well, some of them are not here, and I'll explain that.
Well, he'll get into that because the 4 people that they arrested, one of them was able to bond out and cut his GPS, his anklet or whatever he has to wear. He cut it off, and they can't find him now. He's out of here. He's out of here. Who knows where? Probably not in America anymore now that he's wanted, but upwards of 10 to 15 million. We really don't know how many illegal aliens are in the country, but we have illegal immigrants in the country, somewhere in that area of 15 million. And that's a lot of people, you got to understand. And there are plenty of good people who are seeking asylum, of course, but there's a lot of people who just on some crime. And with our southern border open, it's bound to happen.
So while you have a group of Asian Americans that came here legally, or their parents did, or running beautiful restaurants, you have this group of folks who have stolen, that we've documented, just about $1.7 million from them in cash, in jewelry, and high-end jewelry, in clothes. And think about this. What makes these folks so really, really dangerous? They are professional burglars. This is organized criminal conduct at retail facilities such as our Asian American restaurants. What's interesting about this is they go to the restaurants and they photograph the outside of the restaurant, the inside of the restaurant. They not only photograph the restaurants, they determine who the owners are. They do their due diligence. They search the public record. They identify the owners. They set up surveillance and counter surveillance. They follow these people to their homes. Then they photograph their homes.
Man, when I tell you this is such a problem, and the Democratic, right now, they're going through the DNC. This is the party right now. I don't care what you want to say. This is the party that's looked at as weak on immigration. Millions of people that you could just go into a country and not only just be in that country and be taken care of, but to actually be in that country and commit crime, it's not happening. Nowhere in the world can you go over into anyone's country from another country in the numbers that they have in this coming in from South America. Nowhere.
And they look at their alarm systems, and they look at the cameras in the neighborhood, and they have Wi-Fi jammers and ways to bypass alarm systems. And then once they have their victims patterned, then they attack.
So you got to put this in context. So a lot of times when you think about at least the illegal aliens who are in the country the last 3 years, we think of all of them as asylum seekers. And that's what you have to understand in this migrant crisis, everybody's not an asylum seeker, man. This guy is saying that not only are they scoping out the business, they are following people home. They are using Wi-Fi jammers to, I guess, to hack into their Wi-Fi cameras. They are really this is organized crime. These are not people who are seeking asylum. So you got to understand, of that 10 to 15 million that's come in the country the past 3 years, how many people are involved in this type of activity? How many people are plotting to do all types of crime? It really hurts because tax dollars, we're actually paying for tons of illegal aliens to eat every day, to have housing, to have medical care. We're paying for all of that. Our tax dollars are paying for all that. And to think that amongst the people who are coming in, you actually paying for actual criminals. And a lot of times when people get arrested, they get a court date. They don't show up.
These folks came through areas like Kansas and New York, and we suspect when this video and this press conference is released, we'll have law enforcement detectives scratching their heads who are working high-end burglaries going, my goodness.
My bad, because I was thinking they all came through the southern border. Some migrants are flying from southern countries to Canada because you don't need a passport to fly to Canada, and then they'll enter New York from the Canadian border. This is the land of opportunity, to commit crime. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're starting to become.
Go with me for a few minutes. I've got to read this because it's so complex, but I want you to get an idea. Let's start with Geraldine Galano Perez. She's 33. She has a long, violent criminal history in Colombia. She comes to the United States across the Mexican border. She's a catch and release. So she enters on July the 13th, 2021. They catch her and they give her a notice to appear. And guess what? Does she appear?
Hell no, she don't appear. What do you think?
No. So they catch her, they give her a notice to appear, and poof, she's gone. By the way, they'll give you a plane ticket so you can fly to wherever you want to go.
That's how wild we are in this country. That's how we do it.
And that's at the taxpayer's expense.
Look, man, I was born here. I'm a grown man, so I've been around a while. And I don't ever remember, America having such horrible border policies. I just don't remember a time. My parents, I'm first generation here. My parents are from Ghana. They came here in the 70s. I mean, on a certain type of visa. I mean, I don't know a time, I don't remember a time where America had such a horrible border issue ever. I just don't remember it as a kid. I don't remember anybody older than me talking about it in the past, in the 70s or 60s. I don't know what it is that's going on now where it's gotten that crazy. And you almost have to say to yourself, I mean, this is such a long story, so I'm just going to wrap it up. But you almost have to say to yourself, is the government just doing it on purpose? And again, I'm going to go back to the idea that a lot of the asylum seekers may eventually be brown voters who are going to replace black voters. That might be the thing. Or just voters in general, because you got to realize that there are a lot of asylum seekers and AKA illegal immigrants or whatever you want to classify them as who have kids too, right? So the kids are growing up. So you got to understand that that's why I pin a lot of this on the Democratic Party, because at the end of the day, this amount of people that came in the past 4 years, man, you can just thank them. And I mean, as long as they're able to be here and be taken care of, who you think they're going to vote for when it comes to the next election, 8 years down the line, 16 years down the line? They're going to vote Democrat. So this is just crazy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.